banana viewers, people with thumbs, and any other population who watches my banana-based content. I'm back from the land of getting swamped by Master's coursework to bring you all a S4 tutorial. Why am I making a tutorial for a game full of sweats who already know how to play the game? So they have something to point the rare newer players to instead of subjecting them to verbal unga bunga. Obviously, I can't go over every single facet of S4 combat, so for this video, I'll be covering basic movement and mindset. You might not become a pro from watching this video. Heck, I know I'm not a pro, but together, we can become basic. I'm of the opinion that movement is the most important part of this game. Frankly, you don't need to learn fancy things like whatever breakdancing shenanigans are going on here to be decent. If you have an understanding and mastery of the basics, you'll do well enough against most players. But you should probably do a little more than this basic level of dodging. If society would let me, I'd leave this level of dodging at soccer practice. Adding a jump after a dodge makes you a harder target to hit and can serve to set you up for counterattacks. When you are on the ground, dodge and jump. As you are in the air after your first jump, dodge again. Repeat the process. For a little more spice, add some speed to those dodges. Just be mindful of your SP bar. General rule of thumb is to have a quarter of your SP bar available for any unexpected situations. You want to have McDonald's ready in case mom is making mystery meatloaf for dinner. Dodging in the air is great, but oftentimes you'll want some more control over where you land and how far you dodge. Adding a sprint to the mix is a great way to do that. Simply dodge, jump, and while you're in the air, sprint. It consumes less SP than dodge, jump, dodge, and is mainly used for repositioning and throwing feints your enemy's way. If your foe is guessing what you're going to do, that might be the split second needed to determine if you hit first or not. Or it can cause your foe to make a mistake you can capitalize on. By adding a bit of speed, you can make things trickier and more disorienting for your foe. Alternate between these two methods of dodging. There is no right way of doing it, just whatever serves to get you out of danger and lets you get your hits in. You might even get a triple. This next section is more about the mindset you gotta have than the movements you gotta master. To sum up combat in as little words as possible, you gotta understand aggression management. If you knock someone against a wall, chase after them with your fancy dodge jump sprint skills you learned in the first section of the video and hit them. If you're low on HP, get at least one hit in before you die. It's kinda like catching a roaming Pokemon like Entei. You might not get him this time around, but you've softened him up for the next go around. By the mandible of your mother, stop dash spamming. It's easy to predict and punish after the first one. If you have to dash, aim for when your foe messes up. This section is for Acid and any other Bat Slam enjoyers. When you Bat Slam, don't ever do the follow up hit of the Bat Slam, especially if you whiff the initial slam. Spin away in the opposite direction. It serves to get you out of the way of any retaliation or punishes. Remember, safety is important. Above all else, you have to believe in yourself. Never go into a fight thinking you are going to lose. If you think you will lose, then it'll happen. To be clear, I'm not saying to expect victory every single time. That's unrealistic, egotistical, and kinda arrogant. There will always be those who are better than you, and that's a-okay. Much like real life, believing in yourself, the skills you've honed, and the potential you have of getting better will help draw out your best performance against whoever or whatever you're fighting. You need to remember that.